This is Eagle Owl, and today I will be talking about Nick Sirianni saying he's not changing anything about the offensive play calling. Is that a problem? Also, we're going to talk about Brandon Graham speaking on the past 2 weeks. And lastly, Nick Sirianni also alluded in his press conference that the Eagles defense is tired, but let's get straight into it. All right, so let's get straight into it, man. Nick Sirianni, he spoke with the media today, and he has some interesting things or interesting thing he had to say about the offensive play calling. But let me go ahead and play this clip.
Hey, Nick, I wondered if you're considering any coaching responsibility changes starting this week, including potentially trying to take over play calling to give the offense a spark.
No.
Okay, and what's behind that thinking?
Yeah, I feel good with the people that we have in this building. We're 10-3. We're in control of our own destiny, and we're going to keep rolling and finding answers with the people that we have.
As you see, the offensive play calling is not changing. It's not changing, and a lot of fans hearing that is probably upset. My thing with the offensive play caller is two problems, or possibly three. One, if you're going to pass the ball, you got to figure out a way to get the ball out of Jalen Hurts' hands a little faster. You got to have some hot routes because the routes are taking extremely too long to develop. It's taking too long to develop. Two, the personnel issues. If we see it, I'm pretty sure opposing teams see it. First quarter, you're going to use Swift. Second quarter, you're going to pull Swift out and use Kenneth Gainwell. And look, sometimes I know we go off of analytics. I know we do. But sometimes we just gotta go at the flow of the game, how the game is going. And again, people are picking up on your personnel. You gotta use Swift more. That's my thing. The I guess the third thing is it's the miscommunication. That's my thing I've been seeing. Like it looked like we want to go this way, but Jalen Hurts want to go this way. Brian Johnson want to go this way. Maybe it's one of those things. There's too many chefs in the kitchen. Jalen Hurts want to do things certain ways. Brian Johnson want to do things certain ways, and Nick Sirianni want to do things certain ways. So again, this might be one of those cases of too many chefs in the kitchen. So again, if you're going to pass it, especially on first down, you got to have shorter routes. You have Dallas Goedert and AJ Brown. It's going to be very hard for that first guy to get them down if you want to do that. But you got to have shorter routes. You got to get to the RPO if you want to be a passing team, because I'm just accepting that. That's what we want to do, because we're going to eventually pay Smitty. Dallas Goedert has been paid, and AJ Brown is paid, and Jalen Hurts is paid. The running backs don't get no money. You got to look at the politics of things sometimes. Swift ain't getting nothing. Boston Scott and Kenneth Gainwell ain't really getting nothing. So I guess they want to use the guys that are getting paid. And when you rewatch the game, especially the all 22, I know a lot of Eagles fans ain't gonna want to hear this, but the play calling wasn't that bad. I know. You like, how? We didn't score any points. How can you be saying this? When you watch the all 22, we were up and down the field. And I discussed this in my video yesterday. We had potentially 5 opportunities to score touchdowns, 3 fumbles. Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, and AJ Brown. That just simply cannot happen. It's 21 points. We get down to the red zone, we get out of the red zone is because a penalty on AJ Brown when they called the offensive pass interference. Come on, man. That's 28 points. That's 28 points. And we just left on the field. So is that on play calling, or that's just simply on the players? That's simply on the players. But again, man, when I rewatched that game, unpopular opinion, the play calling wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. I know you got to take your emotions out of it. We lost to the Cowboys and the 49ers, two teams we hate. Now, 49ers game, that was just a completely bad game in my opinion. But this game was better, but we just couldn't punch it in. Now, again, we playing them in the playoffs, and I had to bet my bottom dollar that you're going to have a game where Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, and Devontae Smith fumble. That's just simply not going to happen again if we run into them again. So we know what the Cowboys do in the playoffs. But I'm saying, I see why Nick Sirianni said no, he's not changing anything up about play calling. But let's stick on the subject of Nick Sirianni. So they asked him something about the defense. There's been theories, including me. I've been saying this. The defense looked tired. And in my opinion, one of the reasons why the defense looked tired is because the offense is getting off the field too fast, and we're not having them long drives anymore. We're not, because something's going on with the first scripted plays. Something's going on with that. You can't keep leaving the first quarter with 6-7 points and then expect to come back every single time. It's a lot of wear and tear on your defense. So they asked Nick Sirianni about it. Like, do you believe in that theory? Like, no excuses about the back-to-back losses, but is the defense a little tired? He alluded to it, but he didn't really confirm it. He's like, that could be the case. But then another reporter asked another question, and that's when I took it as, yeah, the defense is tired. But let me go ahead and play this clip.
Curious, especially with Ringo, he'd only played like one defensive snap before the game. Like, what warranted the decision to give him some, opportunities at cornerback, and also how both he and Nolan Smith did?
Yeah, again, it's a long season, and you're trying to rotate and trying to play guys to make sure guys are staying fresh. That's always a plan that you go in with. That's not always a reality that you can do it based off of how the game is being played and how the flow of the game is. Keely has done a very good job on special teams. He's been our special team.
As you see, the Nets reporter asked him about Keely Ringo. Like, yeah, Keely Ringo only played about one snap, and he's been a really good special teamer, but why is he getting all these snaps? And the thing that came up, he like, I want to keep the players fresh. So I'm like, oh, Slay is not hurt. Bradbury's not hurt. Roby and none of these guys are hurt. They just tired. So we're trying to rotate the safeties, like a Sidney Brown, in which he eventually just had to start because Reed Blankenship went out. But we've been trying to get in Eli Ricks because the team is just simply tired. Slay is tired. So they've been putting in Keely Ringo, who's been having a very good practice. Now, when you go back and watch all 22 again, Keely Ringo wasn't awful. You could tell it was like his first action. Like, he was average. Like, you can build off that. You can build off it. He's a rookie, but he got to get his confidence. Eli Ricks actually had a better game against the Cowboys this time. He wasn't bad. Sidney Brown wasn't bad. The young guys really stepped up this game. They really did. So, yeah, that's what I took from it. The defense is tired. They are tired. But the offense got to help. The offense got to do those long, sustaining drives like they used to do last year. Run it. Get the first downs. Run like 6-7 minutes off the clock and punch it in for a touchdown. Wear these teams out. We're the Philadelphia Eagles. That's what we do. We play smash mouth football. Play smash mouth football, man. You got to start wearing these teams out, because if we keep doing these 3 and outs, you're just burning out your defense. The defensive line don't look the same. No, the linebackers always been average. The defensive backs are terrible. The offense got to find a way to keep the defense off the field. Just simple as that. The offense got to find a way to keep them off the field. And I guess Sean Desai's doing his best. Ever since that overtime win against the Bills, could tell 49ers tired. Then you go to the Cowboys. You play 2 teams off of 10 days rest. So, at least we get an extra day against the Seahawks. Play Monday instead of Sunday. this defense is definitely tired. But speaking of the defense, let's talk about Brandon Graham. Brandon Graham went on WIP as he usually do every Tuesday, and he has this to say about the team.
Us, we gonna get it right, and I believe in this team, and the team believe in you. We believe in each other, you know. And despite what's been going on the last 2 weeks, because of course, it's a little more juice because of who it is and what happened last year with the 49ers, and then of course the Cowboys gonna be every time we play them. You know, we gotta beat them, but. I know that it didn't happen the last 2 weeks, and we got Seattle this week, and it's like how we respond. Of course, we wanted to respond with these Cowboys by getting on the win column, but it didn't happen. So there's no sense of crying about it. Let's fix it. Let's really, be out there really trying to look ourselves in the mirror and just know that we 10-3, but we got some stuff that we got to get better on so that we can make this run. I know that for us.
I love Brandon Graham, I do, and I love his confidence. Just keep the confidence, man, because I am crying. He says no sense of crying. I am crying, man. We lost back-to-back blowouts. So we got to find a way to win, man. And again, I love a guy like Brandon Graham in the locker room, still believing in the team. We got to do what we got to do in Seattle. I know it's been a long time, and DK Metcalf love to feast on the Eagles. But this is the time to get them, man. We need this win. Because if we don't win, of course we're a playoff team, but I really got to question the grit of this team. It's in question right now. But if you lose to the Seahawks, it's going to be definitely in question. But hey, man, what do you think? How do you feel about the news today? Nick Sirianni, Brandon Graham, the defense, the offense. Now, this is Eagle Al, man. Come on.